television for a while. Now that Dollhouse is over, I mean, how are you feeling about television? Kind of like, what lessons have you learned about sort of what television wants and supports right now?
I don't know why this question sounds a little bit like, well, are you proud of what you did? Well, maybe you should sit in the corner and think about it. That might just be me projecting. It must have been the wrong place, and it must have been the wrong time. I really did, I definitely was trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, and we, I think, both benefited from the great square hole of television, the WB, where they were just interested in people like us who had a story we knew how to tell, and they let us do that. That is very rare. It doesn't exist anymore. Literally, the WB doesn't exist anymore. My experiences at Fox have not been successful, and ultimately it is just because there is a certain kind of incompatibility that is very easy to miss, because I like genre stuff, that's what they wanted, you say the word sexy, sex, they think that's sexy, but can you not mention sex? It's just, I clearly have more of a cable mentality than I realized, and I've been away from television for a while, and I didn't know that. I didn't know how much things had changed. I didn't look at Janet Jackson's nipple, and I didn't know how much trouble it caused. So what I learned was, know your audience, and your first audience are the people who are paying you to make the thing. Which is why, right now, I'm at Marvel. I'm extremely happy to work with Kevin Feige, and it's a very different experience. This is, Kevin and Jeremy, the two people I work with, the executives, that they're the studio, they're the producers. It's the same entity, and they know what they want. And up front, they're very clear when they don't get it. They know what they want, and that's a great experience. The other one is doing stuff, on the internet, the smaller stuff, where I'm the boss, but I have to call my friend to see if he has any outfits. And both of those are great for different reasons. Television, I love serialized storytelling, but I didn't quite think that one through.
You love serialized storytelling. Is there still a market right now for intensely serialized stories? I mean, Lost is over now, unfortunately, and it seems that as it kind of went out, there seems to be that the TV landscape kind of turned against intensely serialized stories. And do you sense that TV networks are not interested in that kind of format right now?
I think typically they're not. They want shows that can repeat. They want shows, the studios want shows that will syndicate and serialized shows. I'm just personally less naturally interested in non-serialized shows. I enjoy the investment in and the anticipation in the characters and what's going to happen, what conditions are really going on, and to me that's the thing that always grabs you. And I think they want it too. They just don't know it. When they talk about stories imply time. Stories imply inevitability and some kind of progress. And so I think that the trick is, I know that the showrunners on Fringe have been working really hard to kind of maintain an ongoing story, as well as keeping every episode feeling as much as a self-contained thing as possible. But I'm personally drawn to that this new show that we're doing on NBC, Undercover, is a show that is much more self-contained, but it naturally will have, and as just as we've been working on the episodes, develop a story that is being told over time. You don't need to watch 1 through 5 to get what's happening in 6. But to me, that's the story that, for whatever reason, I'm naturally drawn to that kind of story.
Joss, did you want to take that question at all?
Just, I think the networks will never, ever ask for that. They'll never admit that people want that, because they do see the easy cash cow of The Mentalist. Let's all make The Mentalist. And when Lost first hit and was just blowing up huge and everybody was loving it, we were all so into it, they were still like, we don't want that. That successful Emmy-winning thing? No, we don't want that. I mean, they would speak against serialized storytelling while it was the only thing people were watching on television, because they're thinking bottom line. It's very weird, because ultimately the serial is always going to be the thing people remember. What do they remember about Cheers? Sam and Diane, not a great joke from Cheers. They remember that. And so it's, you know, I like both. I like to have some sort of resolve, so I don't feel like I just, you know, I'm still angry about The Empire Strikes Back. Okay? The movie doesn't have an ending. So, you know, I like to split the diff. But yeah, the progression is what it's all about. Well, it doesn't. He's frozen in carbonite.
Before we open it up to questions, I'd love to know kind of like what's inspiring you guys like right now. We talk a lot about your influences. We talk a lot about your sort of relationship to your past. But like right now, who's doing things that are like you know, inspiring you visually? Who's doing things that are inspiring you in storytelling?
I love Edgar Wright. I just saw Scott Pilgrim. Scott Pilgrim is awesome, and I loved it. And you know, there are a lot of different people who are doing stuff. You know, Chris Ware, who's an amazing comic artist. I cannot, the stuff he does with time and kind of stopping time and taking you on these tangents. I mean, there's certain people who just blow my mind. You know, but usually I just feel like there are a lot of people. I mean, I could go on a huge list, but that'd be even more boring, sir.
I'm just gonna say, you know, making the Avengers, that's cool. So I must be awesome. And but I'm also watching a lot of stuff, you know, just sort of looking for moods and things. You know, you end up watching a lot of films. And I will say, not inspiring, but I have had actual moments of sheer fucking panic because I love Star Trek so much. I just keep watching it and going, no, I'm sorry, you have to hear this. It's time the children knew. I honestly watch it and I go, this is the gold standard for a teen movie, for a summer movie, for any movie.